Well, here it is again. Last week I said that we were going to tell you all about how religion began, but in order to do that, I need to give a little bit of information about how we began, what we are. First of all, next week I'm going to cover all the bright minds like Einstein, Jung, and the psychiatrists, and what they think about God and what they think about man and God. I feel that's important too, for us to make an intelligent decision for ourselves. A good friend of mine, Randy from Belize, wrote me and said that he didn't remember what I had said about spirit and soul, and that's part of what I was going to cover this week anyway, so this will fit right in for him. And any of the rest of you, if you have any questions about what I say or do, be my guest. Just go ahead and email it on in. You can go right off of the site, or you can go to talk.org, and I hope you do, because I've got some pretty serious stuff on there. And I think, and it's very advanced, I might add. If you're not a serious student, it's not going to be. And if you don't like fun, you're not going to enjoy the site, because it's designed for fun. Another thing, if you read the writings by Crystal Lynn, she's a pretty good old gal. She's been with me for a long time, helped me out a lot of times. Fact is, if it wouldn't be for her, we wouldn't have a website today. We wouldn't have this for you. So I thank her personally every chance I get, and I know you're appreciative of it. So let's start with what you are and how you came to be. First of all, you're a mind, you're a soul, and you're a spirit, and you're riding around in a physical body. Now, soul and spirit, so many times in regular Orthodox and fundamental religions, are confused as one and the same, and they're not. First of all, the soul shares the purpose with the physical body. Now, your physical body grows. You start out as an infant, and you grow into a man, an adult, and then on beyond into the aged adult, and then you make a transition and you're ready for another experience. Spirit never dies. Spirit is eternal. It's life. Like they say in homeopathy, the doctors, that spirit is the dynamis that distinguishes you from the corpse. That's not true. I mean, it is true, but that's not all it is. Spirit is more than that. Spirit is God within man. Now, how can that be? How can God be in each and every one of us? Well, even Jesus said that, "Know ye not that ye are gods." And he said that because we are. We are created from the same Spirit. Just like your body has billions and billions of cells. And if you would look at that under a microscope, those cells are in constant motion and moving. And you think you're solid? If you look under a microscope, you wonder how you hold it all together. Well, you see, that goes with the soul. Now, here's the difference. The body, the physical body, develops, and as it develops on the physical side, it also works with the conscious mind. The mind is in three parts. It comes with a conscious, a superconscious, and a subconscious. So the body works with all three of those, but in particular, it's always on alert for the conscious mind. Make sense so far? I hope so. And as you grow and you mature, the idea in this lifetime is that we are to grow spiritually also. That's what we incarnate for, is that spiritual growth. So we have a chance to be godlike, and that's what it's all about. Now the body, then the physical conscious mind, it develops a personality, and that distinguishes what you are. Are you one way or another way? That's your personality. Are you evil or loving and good? You're supposed to be loving and good. If you get away from being loving and sharing and good, then you're not growing to the nth degree that you could for your spirituality. Am I making sense yet? Now the soul and the superconscious mind, they work together too. along with the subconscious and the conscious mind, and the soul develops what we call character. The integrity of the individual is developed in the soul. So the soul and the body, they share the purpose. They get together. They're making the whole you. The spirit, as I said, never dies. Like the doctors say, that's the dynamis that keeps you alive. But it's more than that. That works in conjunction always with that superconscious universal mind. Now you know what you are. That's like the automobile. The automobile isn't the tires or the motor or the fuel that's put in it, and it certainly couldn't run without you directing it. Although I understand they're trying to make it run by itself everywhere now, but I think there still needs a little direction with that. How would it know where to go? And where are you going to go? Now here we come to religion. Almost every, not almost, in every religion in the world, all of them, doesn't matter what kind it is or how late it was formed or by who or when or what it does, they always talk about death. They're talking about you're living a life so that you can die and then get your reward or your punishment. None of that is true. I'd like to tell you it is, because then it would make it pretty easy in this lifetime, especially if you believe that Jesus died for your sins, and some people even believe Jesus is God. Well, Jesus always gave credit to the Father within, or the God within. Now, how did that all come about? How did that religion start? Well, that's for next week. This week, we finally got through enough so that you can give a general idea of where you are. Do you believe in God? Who cares? God, it's whether God believes in you. You know, God is omniscient, and that means all-knowing. How does that work? Look at the cells of your body. They tell me each cell is an individual you. Do you believe that? Do you know that? Well, science says it's true. You tell me what you think, and if that could be true, wait till you hear what I reveal next week. God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.